welcome back. Happy New Year. The January reading log. It's next month I might do 2 videos, maybe 3. Might I don't know. I'm thinking about showing off what I got in my box the other day. But anyway, let us begin. First up, I read Vinn Saga, Volume 12. For this I just put Thorfinn in the first couple volumes where we're introduced with him. And on the left is it's what he looks like now. There's no spoiler or anything. This character transformation, character development. It was a really good volume. I want more. Give me more, it was so good. There may or may not have been a romance. And I've been kind of hoping for particular characters to develop romance. And we get to learn more about an antagonist, or they're not really an antagonist. At first they are, but we get to learn more about them, which was really cool, and I liked that. It's just overall a really wholesome volume, Next up, Fire Force. I finally caught up with Fire Force, well, in volume wise. And I want volume 26 to come out right now. The cover for it looks amazing, and what it left off with is whoa. And this is not relevant. I mean, this is just part of what I had read, this panel, and I really liked his ability and what he did with the skateboard thing. So I decided to show it. That is the clock going off. I don't know what time it is. I could care less. But yeah, I really liked this guy's ability. Again, so I decided to put it there. And we learned more about I'd say a fan favorite. I really like him. I'm sure you guys do as well. We learned more about Benimaru in volume 25, which was fantastic. It's always a good time. I see people, shit talking Fire Force. They don't know anything about life, about happiness. Next up, I read Undead Unluck, Volume 5. I chose this. There's no really particular reason. I just decided why not. But Volume 5, mwah, very, very good. I wish more people got into this. You don't see a lot of people talk about this series. But I feel like they should. It's just such a unique power system. 5-head, big brain type of bullshit. Anyway. Yeah. Next up. I started Girls' Last Tour. And I really like it. It's really... this was a random moment. It actually made me laugh a little bit. The absurdity and randomness of these characters. I mean, they're little girls in this world. It's a weird world. They don't know what they're doing. I mean, they know how to survive and scavenge for food and whatnot, but there was some pretty dangerous bullshit they did. I apologize for the yawn. Holy crap. But it's only 6 volumes long, a fairly short series. So I think I'm going to collect the rest and finish it. But it's kind of wholesome. It's kind of like very thought provoking. Like some of these things that these little girls say is just like, wow. They have every right to, considering their situation and whatnot, but it really makes them grow up fast. Anyway, give it a read. Next up, finally, Record of Ragnarok Volume 1 came out. I loved it. These two characters, this is, Thor's with his hammer right there, and Lubu. I had never heard of this guy until I read this. He's the one with the spear. I love the action. I love the author's interpretation of gods and goddesses. It's very unique. Like, so Thor has red hair and very long hair, as you can tell, and a giant ass hammer. And those black glove things. Like, I had never seen anybody interpret Thor in this way. I've seen Marvel and I've seen, like, Greek myth. Wait, which Thor is? He isn't Greek. He's Norse mythology, if I'm correct. Look at Mjolnir, however you pronounce the hammer's name. It's just, incredible. I enjoyed the action. I enjoyed the lore. I enjoyed the story building, world building. Really good. And I am excited for Volume 2 to come out. Next up, Beastars Volume 16. This is a random panel, not relevant at all to the Volume 16. But Volume 16 was really, really good. Every volume is very nice of Beastars. You can't complain ever. I know, like Volume 21, 20 in Japan, like, that's how many volumes there are. It's a done series. I know we don't have too many left, and that's quite sad. Nevertheless, I will enjoy it. I don't know how it could end. It's, one of those where you can't predict it, or at least I can't. The Breaker, Volume 2. I had long been awaiting this. I was not disappointed. I feel like it's a new gen sort of Baki / Kengan Ashura. I haven't watched Kengan Ashura or read it, and I've only seen the first series of Baki on Netflix. Not Baki Hanma, but just Baki. I really love this. If you don't, give it a read. You will instantly fall in love. And the character development, it left off on a really good, like, cliffhanger, like, just give me Volume 3 already. I'm tired of waiting, Maybe I'll just stop reading it and wait for a couple volumes to come out so I can satisfy my urge all at once, It was very satisfying, some of the things in the volume. Or at least what it left off with is going to be like, oh, in the first chapter or two of the Volume 3, you're going to be like, mwah, chef's kiss satisfaction with what we're going to see. Anyway, next up, I read Spirit Circle. The art really threw me off. I didn't look into this. I was on Twitter. I saw it was in somebody's like top 100 anime manga or just manga. I saw some people in the comments of that say, mention how like, hey, Spirit Circle, my dude, and I decided to pick it up. I did not regret this. I want to read the rest of it. I don't know how long this series is. I know it's complete, to my knowledge. Um, it's... I don't know how long it could last. Like, I don't know how many volumes it is, but I do not expect it to be a very long series. A lot happens in this volume, and like I said before, the art threw me off. I thought this was going to be like a kiddish manga. I mean, it is, you know, like some very violent and gory stuff happens. Like, not like it's complicated. Give it a read. You will not regret it. I forgot the main character's name. I believe it's Fuchi. 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 However you want to pronounce it. I want to read the rest very badly. Like, how could they do this to me? You know? I say that a lot. You know. I say, you know. Some of the panels, like, I couldn't... I think it's an anime as well. Like, at least some of it's been animated. I haven't watched it. But... any panel I could have chosen would have spoiled something. And even while I was looking for this, I got spoiled a little bit on some characters I have yet to see. Anyway, next up. I read Nana Volume 1. Finally got a reprint. I chose this series. I'm not really a shoujo kind of guy. This is a romance, shoujo. Excuse me. But I chose this. I'm not really into shoujo, like I've said before. But this series has like a little special place in my heart. Because it was almost like one of the first anime I've ever watched, like consciously knowing, like, oh, this is anime. Not like Dragon Ball Z, like where I watched it and didn't know it was anime. This I sort of knew was anime. So it was like the third anime I watched. I wasn't really watching it. I didn't know the context, but I was at my friend's house and it was on the TV, like he was watching it. And, I saw these two girls called Nana and Nana. Fuck. Nana O and Nana H. I believe. Nana H. I mean, before, way back then, I thought it was always Nana A. And then, like, reading it and seeing that this is Nana O, if I'm correct. But seeing it, written down as Nana H, I was like, what do you mean it's not Nana A? Or are there other Nanas? But no, if you listen to Nana H, you can hear the A. So I guess back then I heard the A and I was like, oh, so this is Nana A. The more you know. I think I want to read this more, as the volumes get reprinted. Because it's sort of a nostalgic thing to me. Also, apparently this is on hiatus. Last time I looked, when I was looking up how many volumes there were, out. It's on hiatus, which is sad. Hopefully the author is, okay and whatnot. It's really like... we get to learn about each of the Nana's past. And then, at the end, like, they're both in Tokyo. I'm assuming... what I remember from the anime, I don't know if this is a spoiler, I remember them being roommates, and I remember some other stuff which I'm not going to get into. I'm just curious as to how it all, fits together, how it all unfolds, per se. Anyway, next up. Soul Eater, Volume 5, the Perfect Edition. It was a banger. I'm getting close to where I dropped the anime or just stopped watching. I didn't really drop it. It's not that I wasn't interested, it's just that it felt long, and it was one of those times where I just took a break from anime after watching Soul Eater, or, what I did up to Soul Eater. But it's good to see that I'm finally, getting closer and closer to the territory of which I am in the unknown of. Give it a read. It's by the same author as Fire Force. And I've seen some spoilers for Fire Force and Soul Eater. And I just want to read. Next up. Dragon Ball Super. I'm really in the mood. I got volumes 11 and 12. Really in the mood to just get the rest of what's out. Because it felt so good to read Dragon Ball Super again for whatever reason. And I need more. I need my dopamine hits. My nostalgia drive. The action. The wow factor. Next up. Dragon Ball Z. I got the Viz Big Edition, Volume 5, if I'm correct, where the androids are introduced. I already know how it all goes. I've already seen all of Z, or just about all of Z. I know how it all goes and ends, basically. Something hits different about Dragon Ball Z. I know it's like, the predecessor to Dragon Ball Super, and then before that, we had Dragon Ball, but it felt like there was more risk, and the characters weren't as powerful. I guess that's why it sort of hit different, because they were not, at the right amount of strength. And in Dragon Ball Super, Super Saiyan is just like, thrown out the window and whatnot. It's not really strong anymore. I've seen some, spoilers about what happens in Dragon Ball Super. I really want to get to it, but it's not out yet physically anyways. And I'm not even caught up anyway, so boom. I did see some weird panels that spoil what's going to come up. I think it is physically printed. It's part of the current arc, the Moro arc. Next up, Tomy by Junji Ito. I read this. It was good. It was really Junji Ito, like some of it was episodic and some of it was continuous story. I really like stuff that is continuous story. Obviously Uzumaki was continuous. At least in, I believe, most of it. Or all of it, really. It was good. It was Junji Ito. Of course it's not bad. I mean, there was one panel in particular that I had seen before, and I didn't know where it came from. And then seeing it in Tomy, I was like, oh, yikes. Because it sort of irked me a bit when I was reading it. Just one of the only Junji Ito panels to irk me. I didn't put it up. This is just what Tomy looks like. She's rather interesting. Apparently, in the afterword, Junji Ito was talking about, like, how he wrote a bunch of, like, Tomy stories and then submitted them and whatnot. It sort of helped to build up his career. And then 10 years later, or just about after he had written some Tomy short stories that got picked up for a live action movie. And apparently Junji Ito was, a dental, like a dentist person. which was very interesting to know. I did not know that, so I always like afterwards. Really gives you a chance to connect with the author. Next up, JJK, Volume 15. I mean, Volume 14. Sorry, I was just looking at Volume 15, seeing when that comes out before making this. This was really good. This panel is obviously not from the Shibuya arc. I just really like how it looks. Or I guess this... No, it's not from the Shibuya arc. But... you know, Volume 14, epic, great. I feel like the Shibuya arc should really, really be, you know, talked about more. Sorry, I just muted my TV because my video ended with the music. And I was right, an ad came up, so avoided that. But I saw some people talking shit about JJK, like, homie, on Twitter, don't. Just stop. I don't understand what there isn't to like about this. It's one of the best new gen. And I honestly, I'm excited to see the Shibuya arc wrap up. I don't know if it's going to wrap up in Volume 15 or not. But I'm excited to see what comes next, if that makes sense. Like, I mean, I've already seen some spoilers on Twitter. Same with Fire Force. But, you know, I know no context. I know nothing about what leads up to these things. That's about it for JJK. Next up, Chainsaw Man. Excuse me. This panel, if you've read, you know, Volume 9 at all, and this might hit you hard. Volume 9 really tore my heart out. Same with Volume 14 of JJK. I'm not gonna bring up what happened in JJK, but I was very surprised, to say the least. And anyway, very much so in Chainsaw Man as well. I can't really describe in words without spoiling how it made me feel. It was really great storytelling, though. I need Volume 10 now. We learn a lot about characters, and like, it was very cool. Like, we were described the abilities before they were shown, or as they were being shown. Ah, man, this panel, broken heart sadness, heartbreak. Just go read Chainsaw Man. Next up, Tokyo Ghoul Re. Finally reading it. They kind of butchered it in the anime, or at least the second half. I don't know why people don't like the Tokyo Ghoul anime and manga. I mean, they like the manga, but not the anime. And Tokyo Ghoul Re, the anime. But I'm finally reading. I've read some of Tokyo Ghoul Re. I stopped around the current arc I'm in, so it's gonna be good to... I got up to Volume 8 of Tokyo Ghoul Re, so that's half of the series, and then I'll need to get the second half later. I love Tokyo Ghoul. One of the first anime I officially watched. Look at Heisei and Arima. Damn. Look at that art. You know, Sui Ishida, I love his artwork, his aesthetic as well. But I don't know about Trojan X. I've only read like the first 2 chapters. Anyway, next up. This is an honorable mention because I forgot to put it in my last video. Last month I had read Kaiju number 8, volume 1. It hooked me in. It really did. I wouldn't say perfection. I mean, basically perfection. But it really drew me in the first volume. Like, it's very good one. A series should always be able to do that. But this one did it. For sure. I'm excited to see how the power works, how it happened. I'm excited to know the answers to my questions I have. And with that being said, I hope you have a good rest of your month, the rest of your day. You know, see ya, as they do say. Hasta la vista, baby.